G'day guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we break down the charts every single week. Now if you like the sounds of that, make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into the video. So right now guys, I have the current Bitcoin chart and what you guys can currently see is we are currently in an uptrend and we have actually been in an uptrend since the start of the year, since we bottomed back here in November of 2022. But we are actually coming up to a very key level of support, which is my orange line here. But where are we going from here, guys? Now, I'm not sure if you guys know the sentiment at the moment, but we've been hearing a lot of talk about a Bitcoin spot ETF getting approved, and the market's actually feeling really bullish at the moment. We are still quite early in the cycle, which is why I'm actually starting to flip my tone to a bit more of a bearish tone. And I'll explain why, guys. So if we go down to some shorter time frames, so let's go to the daily. Now you can actually see that we actually have pumped quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. So we've actually made a 20% move in a very short amount of time. Now, the reason I'm starting to get a little bit bearish is if we actually look at some of these indicators like the RSI, we can actually see that we are very oversold and we are at very high levels on that RSI. And the last time we're actually back at these levels was back in July, back when we actually topped back here. And we actually got quite a big move down. We actually saw about a 20% drop. And we are getting to those same level, guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do something like this. So this is not the time where you want to be getting into longs, especially when we actually are coming up to key levels of resistance up here. So well, guys, let's have a look at our Bollinger Bands. Now, we can actually see that we are actually outside of that blue Bollinger Bands. Now, every time when we do get to the top of these bands, guys, we do normally see a move down. As you can see, even if it is just a move down to that orange line, which is that mid-range point, it is more likely than not that we are going to see a bit of a move down. Because we want to get back inside those Bollinger Bands. We want to be taking shorts at the top of the bands and longs at the bottom. Now, what was it that I wanted to look at? Oh, that's right. Now, guys, if we actually have a look at our volume, guys, we can actually see some very interesting things here. Now, these volume bars here, I want you to think of it as like similar to support and resistance. When we have these gaps in volume, this is when price will really skyrocket through those areas. So for example, as you can see here, guys, there's quite a big gap in volume and price just blew straight past that area. It didn't stay at that area for very long. That's because that's areas where price isn't traded very often. So when price actually gets to these key levels, you see like a bit of resistance. So as you can see, we actually topped out just in line with this volume bar. So if we were to actually start to get above this level, I would expect price to start to really go up. But we are actually getting stuck right on this level of volume. We literally shot straight up through this gap here, and now I've got stuck on this volume, and we're currently sitting just above this ledge here. So what I want to see is, for a short, I would want to see us to start to lose this level of volume, and then I would expect a quick move down to the next shelf, which is probably around here. Now, guys, if we pull up our volume range profile, we can see that we are actually above the Valley area high, guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do actually get a move back into our volume profile, which would then give us a move back down to the point of control and then to the Valley area low. And by the way this candle looks, this is actually a really bearish pattern. Now, going down to the shorter time frames, this will give us a bit more insight into what the market's likely to do on the short term. Now, if we actually have a look at our momentum waves, we can actually see a really solid indicator here. And we're actually about to print a bearish divergence, guys. So this is where our price is actually making higher highs, but our momentum waves are actually making lower lows, guys. Now, what this indicates is a loss of momentum in the market. So we're about to print that red dot, sorry. And what we can actually expect is we can actually expect that to give us quite a big move down as this momentum wave curves over, bringing price to the downside. So based on how the chart is looking right now and how oversold we are, as well as the fact that we are printing that bearish divergence, it wouldn't actually surprise me if we do actually get a bit of a move down. And the levels I would be targeting, the first level would be this level here. You can actually see that it was resistance, broke down. We finally got above it. We actually flipped that into support before we get a move down. So this is the first level I would be targeting for us to potentially come down and retest. And the next key level in the short term, that was a terrible line, would actually be this level here at around 26,000. If we do break below this level and we start to lose this level, I would expect a quick move down to that $26,000 level. And then obviously the next level, guys, would be 25,200 down here at my orange line. So these are the levels I'm potentially looking at in the short term. I would potentially, this is where I'd be putting my take profits. So I might have like a 50% take profit here, 25 here, and then 25 down at that level. That's what I'm going to be looking at for my short trade, guys. Now, let's have a look. I want to go back to the weekly for a second and zoom out. All right. So if we pull our Fibonacci retracement from the bottom to the top, all right, we bounce. Actually, I was looking at this early, guys. I forgot. What was it that I was looking at? It might have been the daily chart, actually. I think it was the daily. Yeah, it was. Perfect. All right, guys. So we can actually see, looking at our Fibonacci retracement, that we did, in fact, reject exactly at our 786. Now, normally the level I would be looking at for rejection is that golden pocket. However, we did overextend that a little bit, but we did hit that 786, which is still a very key level, which is a likely level that we could start to see a move down. So in the short term, guys, I am bearish. I'm expecting us to come down, but just based on how oversold we are on a lot of these indicators, I'm expecting a correction, at least probably to this mid-range point here, but potentially even lower. And these are the levels that I'm going to be targeting for my short trade, guys. Overall, long term, I am still bullish on the markets, just expecting a little bit of a correction before we do get that next move up. But if you like that video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. And as well, if any of you are looking for one-on-one coaching to learn how to trade markets and make money online, I'm doing one-on-one coaching. So just send me a message. All the information will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time.